This is the mentally ill.
Light activity, they're not looking for anything. They're stalking. This is called relevant positioning, audible activity, and light activity. And they're doing so as the entity is stalking, as the airport has already established that the Ontario police are engaged in criminal surveillance, the mentally ill, stalking by helicopter, stalking in police vehicles, stalking where the fake sun's set today. This is P.O.C. And doing so with the people of the state. These are demons that are pacing, just like the fools inside of the Ovid Family Community Library. That's Securitas, by the way. That's a company that is also stalking. They're walking with multiple shadows. That's the police department engaged in criminal conduct. They're going to be disbanded. And they're also engaged in surveillance together on the internet. These are just the demons in front of me, okay? This is P.O.C. This is the entity that's engaging. I want you to see that shadow. You see how it moved from behind his person to in front? That's a demon. That's a gang stalker. And so is the one that's using the helicopter. That's impossible light on that wall, moving. These are demons. That's Securitas. Okay, I just want to be clear on that. Securitas engaged in kidnapping. The entity is stalking as a police department. Mike LORENZ is going to prison. Michael Gherkin, vagina monitoring. Okay, that's a fire department being shut down. Monitoring on the internet right now. Doing so with impunity. When the government is engaged in terrorizing you, you start capturing video. You put it on the internet so the federal government can know where you are, prosecute, etc. And you're looking at them still stalking you, this is called impunity under the law, and the entity is going to be subject to federal prison. Mike LORENZ's criminal pattern of conduct as a terrorist leader is fully proven in a body of evidence, and it's also relevant for the gang stalkers that are going to federal prison for kidnapping while they have been stalking in police vehicles and in helicopters. This is P.O.C. This is the Ontario Town Square. Here's the infamous clock where you know that that same agency is stalking under a fake sun, exhibiting demon possession and mental illness. The two are the same, okay? It is currently 5:50 p.m. with regard to that pattern of conduct. This is evidence that you can scrutinize. This was dynamic light that was on this wall right here while those demons were stalking in the path. It was also engineered light. He was walking, his shadow was magnified in size behind him, and then it shadow moved in front of him. That's impossible light activity. They're doing so while the entity is not coincidentally but pursuant to gang stalking and furtherance of murder, just like the city of Ontario is doing while I was staying in a hotel, while innkeepers are engaged in surveillance and furtherance of murder, keeping me under surveillance. The entity is engaged in what is gang stalk in the apartment building, on the roads and the highways. The demon possessed that are engaged in that conduct, your headlights are not reaching. That's a demon. And the entity that provides this wealth of evidence is the entity that's going to prison and the entity that's going to be surrounded with martial law. This is mandated, okay? This is P.O.C. That's criminal facilitation for murder. Mike LORENZ is going to prison. This is P.O.C. It is currently, again, 5:51 p.m. Here's my shadow right here so you can see it. Alrighty, and here's my shadow over here. That's impossible light activity, and it was also impossible that that demon had headlights that reached over here. That's the purpose of stalking me under a fake sun. P.O.C. They're all stalking. These are demons, and they're listening to me. They also engaged in vagina monitoring on behalf of this agency. All right, this is disbanding. Just want to be clear on that. The people of the state are going to prison. They engage in criminal summoning. They're going to prison. They engage in what is criminal surveillance on behalf of the entity. And this is the mentally ill, the demon possessed. Stalking, sitting on the bench. Stalking, sitting on the bench. Stalking with light activity using the vehicles. Stalking in the path with the demons that were driving. And your headlights aren't reaching over here. That's engineer light. They're all walking around in engineer light. That's P.O.C. Okay, the entity that's engaged in that, I want to be clear, the terrorists engage in very mentally ill conduct. Psychopaths are going to be diagnosed and criminally prosecuted. While I speak to the criminal conduct and how you're going to legally analyze and prosecute the stalker, the entity chose to engage in terrorism by flying over the top of my head as though you're dropping bombs. Remember, the ordinary target individual, you're going to legally analyze and prosecute for this. Okay, fiscally speaking, the entity is using money of the government to engage in criminal activity. This is also a basis for removing Paul Leon and Mike LORENZ from position, but he's going to prison. And so are a laundry list of other demons. This is P.O.C. It is currently 5:52 p.m. They're going to prison. Mike LORENZ is going to prison for the ongoing threat to your life while a population is stalking. And that's what this is. Relevant positioning, audible activity, light activity. These are the demons stalking with impossible light while their headlights are not reaching on the opposite side of the street, causing the benches to appear projected on the wall and swiping across. Those are the demons that are stalking. They're sitting here right now engaging in surveillance while the entity has the audacity in front of the federal government to stalk an American citizen in the United States. That's what's relevant about the population that's being documented, engaging in what is necessitating martial law. This is relevant to what is mental illness. They will be diagnosed. They will be federally prosecuted. They will be deported. This is P.O.C. It is currently 5:53 p.m.